Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Zainab, and on this channel we explore tools and strategies to help people in their 20s lead more fulfilling and happy lives. If this is the kind of jam that you're into, then make sure to click the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you get notified every single time I upload a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I know a lot of young people have thought about, including myself, which is getting my very first apartment. At some point you might feel like you need your own space, and this is not necessarily because you don't care about your parents or because you're lazy and then you don't want to go out just anymore, but because you want to figure out your groove. You want to figure out who you are, what your likes are, what your dislikes are. You want to sort of like see how disciplined you are in certain aspects of your life, for example your finances. So living by yourself, it's one way to sort of quickly grow as an adult, because then you're responsible for yourself and you cannot make irrational decisions. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of this conversation. How can you successfully get your very first apartment? The very first thing that I want to say, which is quite obvious, is you need to get a job. You need to get a stable source of income, whether it's a business you're currently running, or you're currently doing like some freelance, offering some freelance services, or you're doing like a regular 9 to 5. You need a source of income. I remember the very first time I tried to get my own apartment, I took like a couple of money, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get my own place. And my mom was asking me like, do you have a job? Have you gotten a job? Because I was trying to move to another city, which is where I really like to live. It's where I call my happy place. And then she was like, you cannot just move because you think you have money, because if you don't have any form of income coming in, then you're going to spend all the money that you have, and then you're going to start panicking about how you want to survive. So first, you need a job. If you're considering moving to another city, then start applying for jobs in that city. If you're a freelancer, then you probably don't need to worry about that, because if you work remotely, then that probably won't be a problem for you. You can live in any place that you want, depending on how much you have or how much you earn. The next thing that you want to do is you want to save ahead. Now, this is pretty obvious as well, but you cannot move out if you don't have money. You need money to be able to rent a place. You need money to be able to furnish your place. You need money to be able to survive. So you need to save ahead. I'm going to be giving you a couple of pointers to help you determine how much you need to save to get your first apartment. First, you need to know what city you want to live in. That's going to determine how much you're going to save. Some cities rents are a lot more expensive than in other cities, so you need to figure out like what the market value of like what you want to get is like. You also need to figure out what kind of apartment you're looking for. Are you looking for a 1 bedroom apartment? Are you looking for a 2 bedroom apartment? Are you looking for a shared apartment? What are the basic non-negotiable things that you would like to have in your apartment? All these kind of things, you have to put them in mind, and then that is going to guide your search. That's going to guide what you look for and how much you budget. Next thing that you want to do is do like some research. Ask people around. If you have some agent's number that you can call them and ask them. Just this is not like not going to be a fixed thing, but if you have like a base number in your head, like, okay, if I want to get this kind of apartment in this kind of region, it's going to cost me right around this amount of money, then it's going to be very easy for you to save towards that goal. So when you're saving for your rent, yeah, you save for the rent. When you're saving for like you want to move out, you save for your rent. That's one aspect of it. But then there are other aspects of it. You have to consider like how much it's going to cost you to furnish your apartment. So you have to probably get a bed. Obviously, you won't sleep on the floor, right? You have to figure out like basic things that you need to furnish your apartment, appliances, kitchen stuff, all that kind of stuff. So you have to figure out what the market value of all those things are if you don't already have them, and include that in the budget, the amount of money that you're saving up for. One tip to help you save as much as you can is to stay with your parents for as long as you can. I know like we're all eager to move out and step out and be independent so we can do whatever we want. But if you can stay with your parents like for like a year, or a year and a half, that's really going to like make it very easy for you when you now eventually decide to move out. The next thing you want to do is you want to start searching early. It's very like, I don't know like where you live, But I know I've seen a couple of videos, and a lot of people talk about how it takes time to find the apartment that you like. It really takes time. So if you're looking for a place, I would advise that you start searching early. Don't wait until like the 99th hour because before you start, looking for a place. Start talking to people, start reaching out to housing agents, start talking to people, start checking out houses. If you want to move out, like say in 3 months, you can start, searching at that time, just to like, so you see what is available. Another reason why you don't want to wait till the last minutes before you start looking for a place is because you might feel pressure to take a place that you don't like. But if you're giving yourself like a good amount of time, it's going to be very easy for you to, say no to things to houses that that you don't like, because you're not on that pressure to move, quickly. So start searching early. Next is consider a shared apartment. Now I know like you're trying to move out so that you can live by yourself and not have to deal with anybody. But one thing I found is that shared apartments are usually a lot easier to pay for in terms of rent and splitting like some of the bills than when you're taking like the whole place for yourself. So consider like getting apartments that have, multiple bedrooms, say 2 or 3 bedrooms, and getting other people that you can share that apartment with. That way you can split some bills in terms of like maybe the agency fee, the caution fee, the electricity bill. There's some bills that you can split with your housemate. It's just a lot easier, and then from there you can now graduate into getting your own space. Also, you want to rent what you can afford. You need to look at what your current income rate is, not your projected income, not the income that you're hoping to get, but what your current income rate is, and be realistic with yourself, because you don't want your landlord to kick you out. You don't want to constantly stress about rent. You want your rent to be something that is very easy for you to pay. You can save up for it and pay for it. In my country where I live, you pay 12 months up front. You pay like a year worth of rent at once. So consider like look at your income and then look at your rent. Make sure that if you have to like pay your rent every month, you don't have to you won't have to like really stress yourself out. Like by the time you pay your rent, then the remaining money that is left is not even enough for you to buy food. That doesn't make any sense. So if your one good rule of thumb is to make sure that your rent is not above like say 20% of like your monthly income, that's like a good number, because then you can save, you can like use the other money for other things. You should also consider paying saving up for like emergencies. So emergencies are like emergency funds, like non-negotiable, honestly, if you really want to be serious about money, because emergencies come up all the time. So make sure that you have an emergency fund, so you're not stressed out in case you have an emergency when you've moved out. So that's all the tips I have for you. If you're trying to move out and then the process, please let me know in the comment section down below, how has the experience been like for you if you've moved. I hope you're enjoying your place. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.